come watch me perform at the Arabic restaurant tonight.
That sounds great. I'd love to. If we can make Zaragoza. Zaragoza, what is that? A type of food?
No. It's a traditional way to encourage the belly dancers.
Ooh, I have heard of that before, but why do they do that? They do this to cheer on the belly dancers, and this was widely used for time of delivery when women would give birth at weddings and celebrations
And soldiers at war.
Oh, cool! So we should go tonight and do a lot of for the teacher. But actually, I was just thinking of something. Are you going to be dancing on top of the tables like they did in the medieval times?
No. It is traditional.
See, Oriental dancers would dance indoors at the taverns, but remember, they had to dance outside at the old markets?
Oh, yeah! Okay!
Of course we remember. where they had lots of coins, too.
Yeah.
And so the tables were like the stages for the dancers. Right?
No!
It could be. It could be. Okay. But, see, when they were up on the tables, they were like goddesses. No one could touch them, even on the floor. When they were up there, they were like sacred. It brought good energy. I can feel that energy. Oh, wow.
special day because I don't have anybody, any guest, anybody invited to the talk show. I decided to explain my search about the belly dance in the medieval time. And so my guest will be you today, okay? So between me and you. So in the medieval time, and we don't have like any documents, like too much documents or proof that proof in details how was the belly dance on the medieval time. But follow the timeline and the political and cultural, cultural and religious revolution that happened in this time, we can consider, we can say what connection, what happened at the time to connect like very close to the belly dance, to this belly dance you watch now, you know, has the roots like we watch in the first episode, and we are following the little bit, following the evolution of the belly dance in the timeline. So we had the episode about the harems, where the wives from the sultan, they were talented ladies like singers, dancers, artists, they did poesy and all this stuff. And so, but it's the most close we have for the belly dance, or because the location, or because the elements in the dance, or the influence in the culture from the Egypt or Persia or Turkey or these ancient countries and place. So in the medieval time, when we talk about the belly dance, in Egypt, we don't have too much, you know, like documents, too much information, because at this time, in the medieval time in Egypt, we had the very straight political and religion together, so that don't allow alcohol and taverns and dances. So the taverns, they, you know, if they exist, they need to be very high, so they don't have problems, because they were not allowed at this time. And also, I think if you remember the last episode about the Gawazi dance, I think it was the last one, I'm a little bit confused, about the Baladi and the Gawazi dance. This was exactly close to this time, the medieval time in Egypt, where the Gawazi dancers, the gypsy ladies, they were not allowed to perform, because of the strict religion and the political things all connected. So these ladies, they were not allowed to dance, and and they need to work, because at the time it was very difficult, and they were artists, they were dancers, and we had musicians also, but the art was very hard to, you know, to make money with art at the time. It's very actual because it still is a little bit hard to make money with art, but at this time it was because the political problems and religious problems. So these ladies, when starting doing entertainment for the soldiers, because we have the Napoleon troops from France in Egypt. So they try to, you know, grab some attention and money. Their audience were the soldiers. And a lot of Gawazi gypsy dancers, they were like killed at the time, because they start saying they were like ashamed for the culture. They were like, they made just a little bit confused, like they were offensive ladies, you know, and they say, no, these ladies are like prostitutes, and let's stop this. So just in Muhammad Ali government, he starts allowing again, the art and the dance, but they need to pay fee for the government. It's okay, nothing wrong, you know, they can work with they know. And so in the medieval time, we had all this issue also. So in Egypt, I found in one search, I was searching a lot in internet, and I found one search about one writer, and he made some documents about the medieval time. In his search, he found some little bit like residues, like little bit proof that had some very high, very discreet taverns where the soldiers went there for entertainment, also in Egypt, but not in Cairo, not in the downtown, in the capital, very far. And so in this document, he talked a little bit about the dancers and the alcohol and the wine and all this stuff at this time. So from Egypt, we don't have where is the root, basically the root of belly dancing, because it's an ancient people and culture, but we don't find too much. When we talk about medieval, basically, we remember more about the Persian, the Celtic people. So the Celtic regions, the dancers, they performed sometimes in the taverns they work as a waitress, and they perform also to do entertainment for the customers and get some tips, you know, exchange some money. So they did like work, oh, let's do some entertainment. And usually they had musicians there, usually violin and drums, basically. At the time we don't have electronic music, so the musician, they were there having fun, oh, let's do some music, and she started dancing. So to do entertainment for the customers. And so if we do a search about the medieval time and some connection with the belly dancing around the world, we'll find different dances in Asia, in Africa, and all these different continents. We'll find a little bit like, you know, connection with the belly dance, because at that time in Europe, for example, in France and other countries around in the Europe, we had some dancers, they did like performance at the bars and the taverns, and they sometimes used the knife to perform. So how we started introducing the knife in the performance and what relation have it with the belly dance. So if you pay attention in my performance, I was in one background doing a supposed tavern performer in the medieval time. I don't have exactly the location, it's just one performance. It's not the picture, real picture about one specific country or location or continent. But at the when I start performing with the knife, first I want to explain about this knife. The knife is just decorative knife. It's not, don't cut, it's not gun, nothing. Please don't take the knife in your house from the kitchen to dance, because it's a special knife just for performance. It's not sharpened. No, you cannot cut with this knife, okay? It's just decorative. It's like a symbol for the dance. So please, it's a very safe. Don't use the knife in your house. The kids don't allow anybody, because you need to have a specific knife, and you need to learn the meanings, the symbolism of the movements, and you need to know how to use very safely. So please, it's just a performance just to illustrate the time, and this knife is very specific for this. Don't cut, it's just decorative, okay? So, okay, let's come back to the subject. So, at this time in Europe, the dancers, they started, maybe they have a root in the gypsy, because the gypsy people, they spread around the world, and always they left the little, spice in each dance. So the dancers are in Europe, in some places like Celtic regions and all this, they use the knife to perform, not because they say, oh, this is the knife dance. No. Specific about this time, the dancers, because the time was very wild, don't have too much rules and laws. Oh, this is my land, get out. This is my table, you don't have too much rights at the time. So the ladies, they feel very weak. If they were a dancer, they don't have fancy family, so they need to protect themselves. So the ladies, the dancers, they had the knife to protect themselves. And when they were performing, if somebody was drunk or tried to touch the dancer or something, she look the knife. And she'd show it the knife, and she started incorporating the knife in the performance because the audience start paying more attention. Okay, so this is one of the search that I did. Gypsy knife dance or dagger dance is other subjective for other episodes, because we have roots in the Bedouins. If you talk about we have legends, we have a lot of reference. We have about the Bedouins from the desert, and we are talking about the medieval time, about the taverns specifically, one of the first places indoor for entertainment, because in the beginning starting the kingdom from the pharaonic time, when the pharaoh closed the door, say, get out everybody, bye, thank you, they fighted everybody, they start performing in the souk or the old markets, and after this they start going to the place where they can grab a lot of audience. The taverns were a perfect place because people go for drink, have fun, relax about the battles, the war, the problems, and get drunk and all this stuff. So the dancers say, oh, this is a good place to get some tips with my performance. And the knife was incorporated. First was for her safe, and later they start illustrating the dance. Okay, so and other element in the medieval time very important, and usually you can find this actually in really belly dance performances like Egyptian style, Lebanese style, have a lot, Turkish style, in weddings or Arabic dinners, Oriental dinners in general. You find the element, the picture of the dancer performing on top of the table. So in the medieval time, it was very strong, this element, because at the time they don't have stages inside the taverns. So the little stage for the dancer were the tables, because they were very thick wood, very strong. So in this way, the dancer, she can get more attention from the audience, because she'll be in one level, little bit higher from the audience. Okay, so that you pay more attention. But the meaning in the belly dance, for when you see the dancers in the Arabic dinner dancing on top of the table, is very traditional. It's like others, like symbolism, maybe from the ancient Egypt, I don't know, or something like oral tradition or something like this. When the dancer, she's performing on top of the table, this means she's a sacred, she's like a goddess, okay? So when she's like a goddess, nobody can touch the dancer, even if she dances on the floor, okay? But it's more they elevate the dancer as a, very important in the place, in the room. She's bringing happiness, she's bringing light, she's bringing a good energy for the party, for the guests. Don't change, because after this little explanation of medieval time, in the taverns in relation with the belly dance, we have the Yalla Dance movement of the day. So the let's dance. Okay, so when I say Yalla Dance, I'm inviting you, let's dance. Okay, so don't change the channel. I just to change my clothes, put clothes to take class, to teach the class for you. Let's do the warm up and the movement of the day. Bye. Alright, before you start dancing, don't forget your warm up. So the first exercise will be just a circle with your neck, one complete circle, one side, other side. Shoulders rotation to the back. Good enough. Now let's do some side bumps with your hips. Side to side. Side to side. Let's lift your arms to the top like you want to touch the sky. And to complete, let's do some steps. Just keep your feet in the high heel alternating. Okay? And we are ready to start. Egyptian basic is very simple and famous movement for belly dance. When you think about belly dance, you always think about this movement, I'm sure. Your hands, you'll be in the direction of your ears, okay? When you lift your arm. So, let's do the other side simple. 1, 1, 1, 1. Just drop, 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 drop. And I can try to do the double time, okay? Or short and long. So, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long. Good job. I can see the results now. So, let's come back to the other side, switch side, and let's do 4 times one side and switch to the other side. Simple one, okay? So, let's go. And 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try now the double or short and long. So short, long, short, long, short, long. And prepare to switch. Change. Short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long. Good job. So now let's do the simple one. Switch 1, 2, 3, 4, and keep going. Prepare to switch. And see you next class with new Yalla Dance movement. Enjoy! Woo, switch!